held by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission is heard. SRC had moved to court to challenge the decision by the MPs to award themselves 250,000 shillings each against the law. The commission has also argued that the move by the MPs could punch more holes into the country's already ballooning wage bill.
I certify the application urgent and I direct the parties who have not been served to be served today.
The High Court is today expected to give the ruling on the withdrawal of standard and guidelines on reducing maternal mortality and morbidity from unsafe abortion in Kenya. The hearing for the case filed by, among others, Feeder Kenya, two community human rights mobilizers and a victim of an unsafe abortion was concluded in December 2018. The ministry had urged that the ministry was forced, or rather had argued that the ministry was forced to recall the standard guidelines because they were prone to abuse. According to the petitioners, the Ministry of Health's action to withdraw the guidelines violates the rights of both women and health workers under Kenya's constitution and international law. Kenya Christian Professional Forum, Catholic Doctors Association and the Attorney General oppose the suit. Now let's move over to a hotel here in Nairobi where the Senate is currently meeting with the Commission for Revenue Allocation. The meeting's agenda is the third generation formula of revenue sharing that is to come to the floor of the Senate for debate and ratification. Now, reading of a budget tomorrow may be jeopardized by the Senate as they accuse the National Assembly of bulldozing it without an agreement on the division of revenue bill. A mediation committee tasked with finding the way forward with regards to the bill has until the morning to agree. Senate wants minimum of 327 billion shillings to counties, while National Assembly insists on 316 billion shillings. Now, our reporter Kennedy Mureithi joins us with more details.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. And we were here at the Kempinski, and one of the things that was being discussed is the senators were meeting with the Commission for Revenue Allocation with regards to the new formula that is supposed to go on the floor of the House. But senators still say that it is still a matter under a report in progress, because right now they will be meeting the different stakeholders just to also hear their views before that matter is taken to the floor of the Senate and later on taken to the National Assembly. But the chairperson of the Finance Committee has been very categorical that the National Assembly does not have so much with regards to changing this formula because the Senate has the prerogative of marking up with that matter. But also, as they were finishing, another matter came up, and that is on the matter of division of revenue. And with regards to the division of revenue, remember that tomorrow, Thursday, is the deadline for the mediation committee to have met and probably agreed. But what we know so far is that the Senate and the National Assembly, those representatives in that particular committee, are still having hardline positions. What we do understand is that the Senate has gone down to 327 billion shillings as the base for what they say should be forwarded to counties. And this, they say, is factoring in the basic inflation that is of 4%. Their earlier proposal of 335 billion was actually factoring in probably an inflation rate of 6.9%. But the National Assembly still sticks to its guns, and they are saying that it is going to be 316 billion shillings. And remember also, the budget is supposed to be read tomorrow, but we do say, what has come out here is that there's a probability that the reading of this budget might be illegal. I'm joined by the chairperson of the Finance Committee of the Senate, and Mheshimiwa Mahmoud. And in your statement, as you finished, you say that tomorrow's reading of the budget may be illegal because there is no agreement. Why do you say so?
First of all, I think the word illegal will be a very strong word. It will be neater not to do it. But as far as illegality, I think I will wish to stand that down. But I think, as you know, under Article 218 of the Constitution, the division of revenue bill should be accepted to, passed and accepted to thereafter, the budget levels for both levels of government, that is the county revenue allocation bill and the budget estimates should actually be dealt with that time. As of now, we have not had any division between the two levels, which is a mediation, and we are going to have a meeting tomorrow. In fact, the deadline for our mediation is tomorrow. A matter, of course, which you cannot discuss much because it is a matter before the two houses, and we'll wait tomorrow and see what progress we make. We made some progress, but I hope that tomorrow we'll have some progress. As far as the budget estimates which have been read by Cabinet Secretary Rotich, I think the figures that are mentioned are not final as far as we are concerned, because the figures will actually come from Division of Revenue Act, which will now divide the levels of the money between the two levels of government. Just as we cannot process county allocation of revenue bill in the Senate or the counties in the county assemblies because the figures don't know, it will be neater. Maybe CSO Teach is reading what's reading tomorrow in conformity with what the community, certain community wants. The budget must be read certain time or something. But for us, I think the figures that are being used are still not firmed up, and I hope that as we go forward and according to the Public Finance Management Act, even if the National Assembly amends or changes whatever the minister is proposing, all must be in line with the Division of Revenue Act, which has yet to be assented to.
But then, Mheshimiwa, what you're trying to say is, will I be misquoting you if I say that the National Assembly and the government, by extension, is just trying to bulldoze its way without having listened to the Senate, which is the representative of the counties?
Yes, I think that will be slightly out of context. I don't want it to reach there, but I know and I hope that we are going to agree with the Assembly tomorrow on the mediation level. From tomorrow, in the event we agree, very good. If the mediation fails, of course, the bill will be republished. With what figures? Again, that will be a discussion. Thereafter, we'll know the roadmap we're going to take. But for now, I think because it's tomorrow when we're going to meet, and it's tomorrow when the minister is reading the budget, revenue measures, and maybe tabling his finance bill, all these things I think will be clear to us by tomorrow evening. But for now, I hope that we are negotiating in good faith, we are mediating in good faith, and that at least something will come out tomorrow, so that we can be able to give what actually the counties need.
But probably if we do go that way and the division of revenue or the budget is passed as is, what do counties stand to lose with regards to their development, now that we do know that even if it passes or even if it doesn't pass, then people will still be accessing their salaries? What do counties stand to lose?
No, I think in the Constitution, even in the National Government Appropriation Bill or Act must be accepted to before they start using the money. But before that time, the law requires the both levels of government to withdraw money up to 50%. So I think that there will be safeguard in that nature, in that respect.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. That has been the chairperson of the Finance Committee of the Senate, where he still insists that probably it would have been better if the government and the National Assembly listened to their voice, as they also do hold an opinion with regards to this. But they still have until tomorrow morning to agree to what the division of the Minister in charge of the National Treasury is going to read the budget tomorrow afternoon in the where both houses will be involved. So it will be interesting to see what the way forward will be with regards to this. But we also do understand that later on today in the afternoon in the Senate, the senators will be registering their matter. They will be discussing on this matter just to vent out and probably give an opinion on what the way forward will be. Back to you in studio.
Thank you. Kennedy Murithi speaking to us from a hotel here in Nairobi, where the Senate is currently meeting with the Commission for Revenue Allocation. Definitely a story that continues to develop, and we'll be looking forward to other details coming from Kennedy in our subsequent bulletins. To health matters now. Uganda is on high alert after the World Health Organization confirmed one case of Ebola in Kasese district in Uganda. According to Uganda health officials, a 5-year-old Congolese boy who traveled with his family into Uganda received received a diagnosis of Ebola. This becomes the first confirmed case of a highly contagious disease outside the Democratic Republic of Congo since an outbreak began there a year ago.
At the Bwera Hospital in Uganda, the 5-year-old boy is undergoing treatment and observation after he tested positive for Ebola. Uganda Minister of Health, Aseng Ruth, confirmed the case and detailed the circumstances to the media at a briefing in Kampala.
Ministry of Health
The fire is believed to have started from the lodging, spreading to an adjacent restaurant where there was a huge explosion caused by gas cylinders. Fire engines arrived at the scene shortly after the fire started, but damage had already been done. Locals identified the two men as drivers of Sasaline Sacco and Crossroads Sacco drivers, and the woman as a local vendor who sells coffee in the area. Fire experts and forensic investigators were at the scene to investigate the incident as the bodies of the three were transferred to the city mortuary. Police are yet to establish the main cause of the fire.
Kuna mama alipiga makelele isipokuwa sikumuona sura. Poa. Akatokea hii mlango ya nyuma. Kutokea mlango ya nyuma, yeye alienda akipiga tu makelele. Kuna mmoja alipiga makelele. Kuna mwingine alipigia makelele hapa. Kupiga tu alipiga mara mbili. Ikadhidikishana. Saa huyo sijika.
Asubuhi tumepigiwa simu saa 11 hivi na saa 11:30 hivi hoteli, kwa sababu unajua sasa vile moto ilikuwa inakuja huko hivi, ilifikia hapo katikati. Kufika hapo katikati kakutana na samgases hapo, ndio ikalipuka. Nilikuwa imelipuka, imechoma huko juu yote mpaka huko nje. Sasa vile ilikuwa inachomeka, vitu zinaanguka kutoka juu, moto inaanguka kutoka juu, but the really cause hatujajua nini imecause.
Transport has been paralyzed along the A1 road from Lodwar to the northern part of Turkana after River Kawalase burst its banks. Two vehicles that were driving across the River Kawalase bridge were swept away by the raging waters as other motorists parked their vehicles. The drivers of the two vehicles, including 11 passengers, were rescued and rushed to the Lodwar Referral Hospital. Kawalase bridge connects the northern parts of Turkana, including Lokitang, Lokichogio, Kakuma and South Sudan. Most schools across the bridge were affected as pupils camped by the riverside with the hope that the waters would subside. More than 2,600 rolls of bang valued at 300,000 shillings were seized in Kilifi on Tuesday. Police officers in Kilifi say they raided a house, interrogated and later arrested two women who led them to a room where they were hiding the drugs. Drug and substance abuse affects Kilifi County, which is considered a major transit and selling point of bang. The police say they are on high alert and are following clues that could lead to the arrest of more culprits. A group of over 56 youth who had conducted a survey on behalf of Kasikazi Network now claim that they were conned. The youth claimed they had been contracted by the firm to do a market survey on behalf of an alcoholic beverage company that was conducted in various counties for a couple of months. However, upon completion of the exercise, Kasikazi's management is yet to pay them their dues. On Tuesday, they converged at the firm's head office demanding their dues, and the research firm did not comment on the matter. A Portuguese business council, Kenya, has been launched in a bid to enhance relations between the two states. The Portuguese Charge d'Affaires to Kenya, that is Luisa Fragoso, said the business council targets increased economic opportunities for investors. It also aims at providing networking opportunities for businesses and individuals from both nations, according to a founding member of the council, Ramos. Notable Portuguese companies that are already present in Kenya include engineering firm Motor Angel, renewable utility company Repsol, and vehicle assembler Salvador Setano. Kenya, which was represented at the launch by the Chief Administrative Officer for Foreign Affairs, Ababu Namwamba, welcomed the cooperation. Companies and individuals are eligible to join the newly formed council through various membership packages. Still on business matters, Wilfred Muringi, the founder of the Mastermind Tobacco's Supermart cigarette brand, was laid to rest yesterday in a well-protected, tightly secured funeral ceremony in Tharaka Nithe's Maara constituency. Residents in Magutuni area and journalists were forced to stay outside the fence that surrounds Kiaurani Primary School, where the chopper that was ferrying the casket landed. Only 8 family members were allowed to witness the burial ceremony.
The chopper carrying the remains of the late business mogul Wilfred Murungi touched his home soil at 11:07 a.m. Murungi, who led a private and solitary lifestyle, was laid to rest just as he lived. The ceremony locked out members of the public, with no printed eulogies or photos allowed during the ceremony. However, photographs obtained by NTV show 20 seats reserved for guests arranged near the burial site. Residents of Magutani also expressed their disappointment at not being able to bid farewell to the business tycoon.
Wanafikiria wakisaidiana akikufa waende kwa kamuzike. Hiyo tunaomba kama itawezekana, sio vizuri na watu hawakufurahia hiyo.
Locals digging the grave were also asked to leave immediately after the grave had been dug and were only asked to return upon the end of the ceremony. Murungi was viewed as the patriarch of the area as he had initiated a number of projects in his home area. Stacey Kerore, NTV.
Health matters again, this time in Isiolo County, where residents are said to access high-quality diagnosis and treatment of various ailments after completion, equipping and staffing of an ultra-modern laboratory at the county's teaching and referral hospital. The state-of-the-art facility is as a result of a partnership between the U.S. Embassy's Department of Defense through the Biological Threat Reduction Program and the county government of Isiolo. NTV's Judith Cherono with more.
Addressing members of the public during the commissioning of the new laboratory on Tuesday, County Governor Dr. Mohamed Kuti noted that it is a major milestone towards provision of quality and affordable healthcare services to people living in Isiolo and the neighboring region. He added that the laboratory technology students will receive training from the new facility.
Tumeongeza wafanyikazi. We have added 11 extra laboratory technologists so that there's no shortage of staff in that lab.
But I do know one thing for a fact. We'll get farther down the road together than we would by ourselves.
Governor Kuti acknowledged that the previous lab was substandard and that it was devoid of modern equipment, reagents and adequate staff.
For me, hopefully this will be part of
a One Health approach because, as we know, diseases transmitted easily between animals and humans, and so there has to be truly a One Health approach. And in the case of a large outbreak, it truly has to be a multi-sectoral approach.
An anomaly that has now been fully addressed through the new facility. He said that this will enable locals to benefit fully from the universal health care program. Isiolo is one of the 4 counties rolling out the universal health care pilot scheme. Judith Cherono, NTV.
Across the borders now, the Mali Prime Minister visited the site of one of the country's worst massacres, pledging to step up security and reconciliation.